読書ボワードマン、ボワー。読書、特具、棒読みちゃんテスト。
よし、やっていきますか。音楽室。何までやってたっけ？昨日のことなのに覚えていない。まだ行ってない部屋が1、2、3個あって、ここから行ってみますか。苦労して開けたしね。お、何これ？
It's another little statue doing
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs. Giant stone frog. Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're
羽。
feathers.
お、羽？あれ？赤とナイフみたいな羽じゃないね。思った羽と違う。
A little pond.
It looks really... See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
壊れて。なんか謎がありそうな感じではない。
More egg stuff.
I don't get it.
Well, either they have... Or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
It's a rose bush. Apart from a couple of
The roses are bright red too.
Now, aren't roses...
Exactly.
なんかそんな大した場所ではなかった。あんだけ苦労して入ったの。ここなんかでかい部屋ですね。お、ペネロペ。今回初めて会うのだ。
Oh, just beautiful.
What
is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really
レ
pushing
ベルが
it.
高い。
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it.
ペネロペ
Penelope sounds a
って
little
名前が
ostentatious coming out of the
嫌い
mouth,
なの
don't
か
you think?
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius,
20
love
歳
to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it
研究
has species worth
こいつ
studying.
も研究職なのか
Ornithology, they call
鳥
it.
類学
I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him!
彼がさ
Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
誰がバラバラに
Who
な
are
る
you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear
Fitz.
Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitzfellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
フィッツって誰だと思う？フィッツ。あ、こい
Isn't
つと
he strapping?
He is... big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
植物学者
Don't
と
remember
鳥類
asking
学
for
者。
your input.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
後から行きますか？
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after
本当に
that?
この二人恋仲なのかな？
I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4,
4。
but in truth it's more like 400.
正式に4。
Can they not
そう
feed
だ、これ
themselves?
400。
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
なんかちょっと寂しそうな。
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering
こいつ
over
の
by
言って
the
ることとつ
library.
いつまが合いますね。
I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges.
壊れてたのか
I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer
その
was there,
時にはポインターおじさんがいて、
standing
フィッツ
over in
も
the
い
corner
て、
with Fifi
フ
and
ィフィ
Poppy.
もいて、
What about
ポッピー
Flora?
もいたと。
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave, give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
でその後の話は言ってくれてないのか。いろいろ見せて
A
きます
fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
少しだけ友達。
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
反りが合わない。
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
まあニートですからね、この
I
人は。
must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
ほう。
She mostly ignores me if I'm
ほとんど無視
honest.
する。仲が悪いのか。
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. You don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
向こうの方が高いって認めてるのか。
She's a most
一番
unsavory
嫌なの
little...
ほん
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow.
かかし。
I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
この人が呼んだのか。死んだ人に関しては
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed
あれ
painting.
さっきこの人20
All
歳って
the
言ってなかったっ
birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
けはあ自分に
Oh,
関しては
she's
彼
beautiful.
女はとても綺麗
Who
ね
is she?
誰なの
Wait, is that me? Oh, did you talk to
愉快
Poppy
な方です
already?
ね
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
何全部嘘
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because
Poppy
that's
と
what
仲
she
がいいの
does.
か
She's a snake. Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're
ヘ
being
ビ
a
と
little
鳥は
unfair?
仲が
Vinny?
悪いってこ
She started it.
と物見せてきますか
No, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
こっちに行くのかあこれとこいつは兄弟そうか
Finally, I get to see a detective's
そん
case
な気軽に見
file.
せていいもんな
That's
の
a
かな
very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it?
神のない
A
炎
shallow
上主義者
sensationalist.
ひどいね
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
これまだ謎のままなんだな
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly!
そ
Hardly
んな
the
ところ
place
に片
for
付ける
it.
なんてほうほう
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities.
人によっては物を大切にするって言ってた人もいたんだけどな
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
へえ
It's cute.
そんなも
Oh
のを
yes,
渡したのか
adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
ピンクが嫌い昔好きだったけど嫌いになったっていうのが気になりますねこの人が
Flora seems
嫌いだ
very
から
fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
えよ
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself,
興
isn't
味
it?
心が強いと思わない確かに
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird
Holy.
of some kind. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me
エピク
feel
の
bad
手
for Freya.
エピクの
I
手
think she was
明
more
けま
trouble.
しておめでとうございます
Freya was very
探偵
talented,
ゲームに
even at that
打
age.
ち込んでます
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
はいさ
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh,
絶滅
yes. The book is very old. Most of the
Oh,
birds in it are
hey.
long gone.
Oh, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle
ほうほう
Tower.
ほうほう。
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It
最後の
was
鳥
the
だった。
last one. The very last.
Oh.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent. It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
ああ、1年前かそれまでに
I
何かあった
don't
のか。
know what that is. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too.
食べられない。
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
うーん。
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
こいつが送ったものなのか？
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
これがポッピーなんだけ
Haven't
ど
seen
な。
this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Lovely. Oh, there used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
いい質問だと言って誰も答えないのか。わからんね。
My little writing desk.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's...
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
重たくてカビのカゴに入っている。パズルないのか？なんだこの。
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental. They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
それカゴの意味があるのか？
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They still...
How do you get your hair so symmetrical?
I do by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
この P。
A rather magnificent book.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
あんまりこの部屋には謎がないですね。あ、で、ここで、あ、そうか。こういったから、この人の部屋の中が見えると。こいつも何か隠してんだろう。なんだ
That's
Oh,
some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
あ、違う。何これ珍しい形のとある色の花。よく世話をされている。珍しいよ。気持ち悪いな、このなんか花。食虫植物みたいな感じですね。
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious.
シーツしか。
A little tea set.
One of the cups has
What's in the other one?
birdseed.
いいのです。
A little bedtime reading.
Let's see. Romance novels, detective
Foundation.
novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice. It's a
Are
birdhouse.
those real
本当に
birds?
鳥？お、来た来た。
They're
木
wood-
星。
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to?
7羽の鳥の位置を変えてください。わからんな。ヒントがないと。
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the something to do with those white lines.
これなんか樹形図みたいな。掛け合わせでなんかこう、こいつとこいつの子供がこれで、こいつとこいつの子供がこれみたいな。そんな関係か？
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to.
色の組み合わせとか。茶色になるには いやいやいや。最初は明るい色じゃないと暗い色が後でできないから。白と緑の子が緑と青の掛け合わせたのか違うな。これもう今でも
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line.
うん、家系図ってことは分かってる。
You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
上の青と黄色から始めた方が良い。あ、黄色と青を混ぜると何色になるの？緑か。で、緑と白。あ、これでできてるんじゃないのか？
I got it.
I'm impressed.
あ、スタートが何か分からないとこれ解くのきついな。
Did the door open? What's in there?
Now I will get her. 破られた紙切れ、くしゃくしゃに丸められている。赤い花の花びらが入る。メッセージが怒ったように殴り書きされていた。彼女を懲らしめている。これは気になりますね。
Traveling case.
Empty. All of them.
これぐらいか？まあ、この人の部屋の中にあったんだから、この人に見せるのが一番だ。
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the
エ
her
ピ
in
ク
the
の
message?
手、エピクの手、
Deal with the
犯人
purpose.
は安。
いや
Really
が
none of your business.
うん。
I must
Well,
say the
we'll try
girls
to
are
put it in
awfully well
video now.
behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular
ス
treatment.
ペシャルな
I let
食
them
事。
out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
他の鳥はもうカゴから
Of
すり抜けてるのに、
Let me
こい
introduce
つら
you
は
to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
完全に隔離されてるの。
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest.
Tatiana
Tabitha is the
が一番
most
上で、
patient, and
タバ
Tamara
サ
has
は
the best sense
リ
of
ズム
rhythm.
感覚。
Glad we cleared that
わからん
up.。
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a
The
name.
bullshit?
Who would name their hat?
そうなの？
Yes, it's my my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me,
ちょっと品がない。
I think it's
け
a
ど自
little
分の
vulgar.
部屋に入れてちゃんと管理されてるんだよな。
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
今すぐ行きますか。おった。
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer
そう
Tower,
ですよ。
holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much.
おー。
Yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
他のものを運ん
Fifi
で。
did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
これ？これナイフに見えんこともない。
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
ダメなの。フィッツが移植ゴテを持ってポイント後に行かなきゃならない理由。 次に切られたのセット。次の破壊できる唯一のものではなさそうだ。次のものを埋めるために使う。移植ごとって埋めるために使うもんじゃないよな。ピッツによって次のボタンを押せ忘れた。これか。あ、そうか。ペニーの花が、こいつは世話しないのに管理が行き届いてるから。で、ペニーの部屋。これだと思うな。フィッツがこの花を世話してる。
Fitz is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Poppy's room. Now,
違う。こうか。
an ornate trowel is used by Fitz
移
to
植
look
ゴ
after
テ
a
移
potted
植ゴテって
flower
何するた
in
めに使うんで
Poppy's
すか？
room. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
惜しい。庭でグリーンハウスでペニーの。ペニーの部屋だと思うんだけどな。こっち？違うよな。切るために違うの。これだと思うんだけど、8ペニーグリーンハウス庭で。
An ornate trowel. Almost. Maybe
これ
just
だけ違うのか？
an ornate. Almost.
一つ変えろ。やっぱりこれが間違ってんだな。ピッツの部屋。
An ornate. Almost. An ornate
あ、
trowel
ペニー。
is
え？
used
俺これ
by Fitz to
一
look
度やらなかった
after
っけ？
a potted flower in Penny's room.
おかしいな。
That flower.
Yes?
I've never seen it before.
見たことがない。
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
これ？鉢植えの花と比較できるもの。これか？比較できるものって言ったらこれぐらいしかないと思う
Let's
けど。
take a closer look at these.
よく調べてみる。鉢植えと土が同じもんだと思うんだけど。庭で見つかった。鉢植えと土が同じもの。
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in the garden, almost. Maybe just change one thing.
ちょっと違う。グリーンのこれか。
The pot and soil
あ、
in
庭じゃない
Penny's
な。
room matches
グリーン
the
ハウスと
pot
庭
and
が
soil found in Fitz's
別物でしたね。
greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
ペニーにそっくり。
It
本当
took
か？
me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
もう一個
That's
絶対
some
正しい。
gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants.
悲しい。
So I go into her room every now and again. When
こっ
she's
そり入
not
ってるの
there,
か。
water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
ほう。で、最後の行ってない部屋。博士の部屋らしいですね。天文棟。こいつは天文学者なのか？
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy
Percival
tower of
Pointer.
one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
なんだこいつ。
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current
Pointer
head of the
che
Pointer
faccia.
family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
大切なポッピーの
And
父親。
a professional astronomer?
ペネロ
Oh
ペ
no, that's just a
は
little
大切
hobby.
じゃないのか？
I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
お
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return. Nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
なるほど。
The day
昨日
began as any other, with
こいつも
blissful,
怪しい行動をとってるうち
unremarkable
の一人なんだ。
routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course.
もちろん彼ら
I
の
sat
こと
for
は
a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at
有
my
名なんだ。
telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a
最後に物事を
curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
運命がいた。けど結構早めにこいつ事件現場に来てたらしいけど。
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
あれ
She looked impatient and slightly
ペ
frustrated.
ネロペが見たこと
Same as
を
ever then?
Quite.
Ah,気づいて
I
なかったの
passed
か
her
こいつ
by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason.
なぜか心
I
配に
quickly
来て
decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
はあ。まあ早く立ち去ったのはちょっと怪しいですね。
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best
I
of
see.
friends. Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her.
Oh.
Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous.
Dangerous
Wait, are you
intelligence.
two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
いい皮肉です、
Nobody
ね。
could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by
何かあった
herself,
のか
wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
なんか調べてたな。
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
へえ。
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Ah, Penelope, our resident
研修
ornithologist.
生。
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time,
今はね。
until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
はあ。ポインターはフェロー家のことがあんまり好きじゃないの。
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even
H
since she
これ
left.
大丈夫か。
Where did she go?
Away.
亡くなっ
She
たの
went away.
うん。これで全員登場人物だった。3×3 だから9人。
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her
彼女
family.
家族
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
こいつはなんか知ってんのかこれのこと。
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. Where on earth did you
お、知っ
find
てんのか
that?
これのこと。
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
おお。
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon?
本当か？
After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
おー、なんか 筆先をガチガチに固めて、それがナイフになったと。
Pointer property originally purloined by the fellows.
盗まれた。
Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
お、知ってるのか。
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
けど教えてくれないのか。
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
基準と。
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
Oh.
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
しばらく見かけている。
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see?
脚を取り付ける。
It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
鳥用の望遠レンズなのか。
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me. What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
全く変わっていないだろう。
Oh, if you don't know,
Oh.
perhaps I don't either. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fish man.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. I've seen those earmuffs before.
耳当て。
They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the
フィ
front
ッツが
gardening.
ガーデニングをしてる
Always
時に
wears.
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
これじゃな
What
い
a
の。
precious photograph.
違うのか。
I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then,
確かに。
aren't we all trapped in a cage? What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know.
プリムロ
My
ーズ。
wife was a floriculturalist.
へえ。
Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
亡くなったけど園芸師だった。
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
お、
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
全部見直そう。お、一番最初の場所だな。湖の端っこ。なんだ。
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. They're just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms at Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
Unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
そうなんだよな。
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
誰かが嘘ついてるってわけでもなさそうなんだよな。
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all.
To see if any.
これ何する画面なんだ？何もできんが。クリックできんしな。タン。フレアのなんだこれ。フレアの部屋。ここか？調べろと言われまして。
It's a little glass
I think it's a
Come again?
See, the leaves might have been for keeping insects.
It's Freya's bed. A little bit
It's a
messy.
perfectly healthy amount of.
何を調べるんだ？クマちゃん。
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty
He's had
depressed.
a rough couple of days. That painting.
Why would
Maybe
you-
Freya
the
enjoyed.
atmosphere?
Hang on, there's a smaller version down
It's
there.
a photograph.
これはもう見たな。
Not the kind of
It's cool. Looks like old.
That's cool.
That painting.
Why would you want
Maybe Freya
the
enjoyed.
atmosphere?
Hang on, there's a smaller
It's
version.
a photograph.
同じものだったか。
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight.
わからん。どこを調べるんだ？
Even though where someone's been tracking in mud from
泥の
outside.
痕跡。
Brushes.
They're clean, but they look.
A lot of.
How can you tell?
Good point. Do you think this was?
I don't know.
No windows either.
壁？
Drawings.
What's that one?
Looks like two people standing
oh.
together in a garden. One of them's holding a red
一
rose.
人はバラを持っている。あ、やっぱりこの二人だよね、くっついてるのは。ポッピーとフィッツが庭に立ってる。貝バラを持ってる。フィフィの貝。
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
ああ、なるほど。こいつらの持ってたバラをこいつが破った。
So, yeah. We found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
バラのもの。
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses and who they belong to.
さっきのやつ。
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden.
これだけ色塗
See
ってあ
what
る
Fitz
よ
is
な。
holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
鳥にとってこさせた。何？ペニ二人ペアなのか。ペニーの鳥は次のものをスパイするために使用された。ポッピーとフィッツ。彼らの証拠を盗んだ。
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on
本当？
Fitz
その
and
鳥
steal
賢い？
evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
絶対に屋上の
We
庭に
need
あ
a
るから
clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
それでこの羽か。4枚の羽。この羽なんかこいつらの羽と一致してるっぽいな。
Let's take a closer look at these.
どの羽？黄色か？紫と赤の。これ紫。黄色が怪しいな。黄色。殺すために引き去られる。こうかな。
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the
こいつ
rooftop
が
garden.
屋上の庭を訪れていると。
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it
こ
for
れ
me.
がタバサだったんだ。
I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days, but being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
けどこいつらは婚約してるのにあいつらはなんかこそこそ会ってた。許せませんな。ポッピーの部屋を調べよう。なんかこうやって出てくれるのいいですね。何この真ん中の空間怪しいな。何調べるの？
We already solved it.
何調べるんだ？見てなさそうな感じ。
Homemade posters. This one's about the
Ah, I've not heard of that band.
homemade posters.
ピタゴラスが有名。
This one's about the Pythagoras theorem.
Ah, I've not heard of that band. Are they any good?
シャンデリア。
Crystal chandeliers.
I don't know. Plus, they're kind of dusty.
これ
Fifi's got
What
some.
is all this?
やっぱこことここになってるよな。いや別に恋仲とかそういうわけではないのか。
Did you notice who?
Freya?
Mm-hmm.
Boxes of stuff.
Nice room.
It's a mess. But yeah.
まっちゃん。
Amused. Don't think you can save it for the joke.
これもう一度聞いたな。何調べるのこれか
What's that big book?
Looks like something Fifi's
Is it
been.
a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology.
What's that? Big
Looks like
book?
it's just a bunch of notes about her.
この辺落ちてるのか
Scientific probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea.
ゴミ箱。
Stuff.
You gonna rummage through the...
No.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
ダメまだ。
Pretty.
We're supposed to...
And over here. A simple trick, but it really transforms.
ん何を調べるんだ
Boxes of stuff.
That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. It's a magnifying
How
glass.
come you don't
Why? Because I'm. Should I start
You
smoking?
can pull up.
もう聞いたな。
It's a
How
magnifying.
come
Why? Should I
you
start?
can pull up?
お菓子。
What's that big book?
Looks
Is
like...
it a
I
clue?
hope It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology.
フィフィの部屋だったっけポッピーの部屋だったっけ天文台を調べよう。まだ見てない。あ、これ見てないな。
You
こ
know,
れ絶対怪しいだ
I've
ろ。
always wanted...
A mechanical.
I would look at it.
え
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle. Sun on
地
the
球が真ん
outside.
中、太陽が外。
How old is this thing?
5つの惑星と太陽と月を中心周辺で回転させてください。何すんのこれ ?5 つの惑星。1、2、3、4、5、6。1、2、3、4、5。この惑星か。で、太陽と月をなんか影がこの後ろの柄みたいになるってこと違う。違う。これかもうちょっとこっち。違うなぁ。あ、こうか。こうして。こうか。お、いいね、いいね。いいよ。これでどうだ
No, that was it.
Nice work.
Nice work.
Did you hear that?
There's a little hatch
A
underneath.
bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
虫黄金のカブトムシ。4黄金のカブトムシ。その甲羅が名前の由来で、約 90% 黄金に類似しているミネラルからなっている。複数年の寿命を持っている。それは大きなシャーという音。95デシベル。結構大きい音ですね。消化不能であることによって身を守る。そのミステッドにはなぜかそれを見た者には不幸が訪れる呪いがかかっていると言われている。なんか黄金のスカラベみたいな、そんな感じなのか。
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something.
Let's ask her about it.
なんでこいつが望遠鏡を持ってんだって話ですよ。
This little microscope thing, You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
不倫か。これだろ。
That's not right.
違う？え？おかしいな。これだろ。
That's not right.
え？また総当たり？カブトムシか？本
You're
当？
not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact you didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
顕微鏡じゃないんだけどな。
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
これ望遠鏡なんだけど。何々はオークションによって次のものを持ってくる。オークションの顕微鏡は何がおかしいんだろう。これ望遠鏡なんだけど、まあ、フィフィによると次のものだか。違うな。こうか。望遠鏡のレンズで作られている。だから嘘をついているか。
The handheld microscope
違う？
is made entirely out of a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
こうだと思うんだけどな。この辺のやつらは全然違うと思う。次のものの一部。
The handheld almost.
やっぱここか。違うのここ？
The handheld microscope,
あ、フィフィが望遠鏡のレンズだ
uses
って
a
言ってたから。
telescopic
これでいいのか。
lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective, naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
銀河
I
の
wanted
皇
to be
帝
an。astronomer.
いいですね。
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
はあ、こいつが盗んだ。はあ。はあ、はあ、はあ、はあ。次はどこに行けばいいんですか？ ポッピーの部屋。こいつがポッピー。もう結構調べてる。これ黒魔術
Various handmade
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing.
違う。
Sheet music.
It's only a few notes.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
古風の絵で飾られているバラ。もう調べたな。次どこに行けばいいんですか？ポインター博士と話。生命聞いて。物突きつけるのか。これだよな。
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Oh, my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything,
ピアニストでもあったんだ。
Poppy still has it
植
up
物
on her
学者で
wall.
も花の学者でもあったって言ってたな。天文台調べよう。この辺見てないよね。
Spy
They're
glass?
in very good condition.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
机は
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's too cloudy.
It's also daytime.
Every astronomy tower needs
I
a...
want to try.
試してみて。見てみる。あ、こいつを見てる？どういうこと？
You can see right into Flora.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting.
え、じゃあこいつは殺害現場で何があったか見てるんじゃないの？
Can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can just about see the gramophone.
It's that little plant Flora keeps in
Don't
it.
you think it would fall off?
Maybe it's glued down.
It's the tower opposite this one. I can see the doorway. The door itself is on the floor. You can see right...
Not by
I
accident.
can see Flora, but she's... Behind her is the back... I can't really see any... Hold on. I think we might have missed something.
見逃した？何をだ？
You can see right...
Not by
I can see
accident.
behind her. I can't really see anything.
Is that a...
I think
Is
it
there
is.
another room above Flora's room?
確かに上に部屋があることになる。
We should check that next time we're over there.
はあ。
Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky.
Can't move it. I think this is just how it's
動
set
か
up.
せない。どういうこと？
There's something about pointers, something.
Let's ask him about it.
何盗撮してんだよ。
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
あなたは別に天文学に興味がない。これめ
You're
ちゃくちゃだ
not
な。こ
really
れだな。
interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by
考
that?
察趣味。
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
え？実際に研究してるのはこの人。
That's not it.
違う？タングルタワーの仕組みについてか。
That's not it.
違う？え？ やっぱ盗撮についてだよな。事件ファイル
That's not it.
違うどれこれ
That's not it.
はいや、カブトムシか。
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far
探偵に
away.
依頼したのか。
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
落ちている。ポインターは次の望遠鏡は次のものを見ていた。事件現場。内政のためなんだこれ。
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist.
レベルの低い
Now you're
昆虫学。
accusing me of
ひどいこ
what?
と言いますね。
Spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's you.
Oh.
It's a very precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder.
これが一番気に
Did
なる。
you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
塔を出た理由が変わった。
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
ハテナが2箇所。
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check.
なんか変なのがある。なんだこれ。
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy.
カニのおも
Looks
ち
kind
ゃ
of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
何これ。こちらは私の新しい友達よ。彼は音楽が好きなの。シンプルなメロディーが彼の魂を動かす。二人の幸運を持っているが、ロールシャッハテストみたいですね。ガラスのシートの下に何重にも重なる黒い銀。なんだこれ。カニさんマーク。
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good
奇
idea.
跡確認。
Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
ガッチ。
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
ほう。みかん漁の仕事。なんかカニさんマークが出てたな。これなんだこのマーク。わざわざこのアイテムのためにアイコンが一つ。しかもこっちに入ってない。ここの部屋も気になるな。一回行くか。屋根裏。何これ。
It's a statue of a wolf.
やろよ。
Standing up straight. Like,
You know there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here.
これっぽくない。
Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
ぬいぐるみ。これ気になるね。
Just dusty junk.
これは
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
リール。上にネジがついている真鍮のリール。そのリールの周りに巻きついているのは細い赤のロープ。
It's a jar.
Huh.
この箱は
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
こう下に
Where's that light coming from?
Daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between the.
お、事件現場の真上
Is that what I think it is?
赤い。
Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
ほー。ここで何かしたのかってことなんか汚れてる
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious.
うん。
Just dusty junk.
At least the moths are kept well fed. Nothing catching my interest.
Sorry, is this
Kind of.
傷は
Nothing catching my interest.
Sorry.
Kind of.
これ何これ
just dusty
ゴ
junk?
ミ。はあ、ちょっと怪しいですね。けど誰がっていうのは全然まだわかんないな。
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
何次のものとマッチするために塗りつぶすのに使われたこいつらは関係ない。これは関係ないと思うな。フリックスのモデル。わからんぞ。次のマックス。こっちはプレイを去った。証拠を隠すため、マジックを受精する。血まみれのナイフと見せるため。本物のナイフは、
A real knife was used to hide the painted ink dip feather to
逆か。
resemble a bloody knife. Nope. The painted ink dip feather was used to hide a real knife to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right.
間違ってる。わからん。もしかすると、プレイヤーはその絵画に自分に血をつけた。本物のナイフは、これ違うな。描かれたインクディップの羽は、次のものの赤い先を描くのに使われた。こうか
Blood from the paint pot was used
けど
to
これも
paint
う
the
すでに
red
分かってる
tip
こ
off
とだよ。
the painted ink dip feather to
そ
resemble
れ
a
らしい
bloody
の作っ
knife.
てみたけど。
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down.
こいつが蹴破っ
Normally,
て
it can only be opened from the inside.
もうこいつ
Pointer
が犯人
said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope,
こいつを見て
but
たん
he
だろ
did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
興味があるんだ。
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still
そうなんだよ
perfectly
な。
in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
キャンバスを
Through
貫
the
通した
painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
メロディーみたいなのが聞こえてきたと思う。これ鳥？お？何これ？これどういうことですか？これメロディーの形ってこと？わからんな。エントランスからメロディー。
There are weeds
It's
in
an
it.
aquarium?
Could be anymore.
あ、ここ大ホールか。エントランスこっちだな。これかメロディー。この形。あ、なんかこれ見たことあるぞ。あのハープのやつか。楽でいいですね。音楽室か。ここか。
It's one of those big.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
これ？
Oh, whatever it is, it's.
Well, it is gotta
What's
practice.
with all the broken glass?
違うな。違いそう。音が鳴るものってなんだ？
Who plays the violin?
It's pretty. So I'm guessing nobody.
Yeah, it's mine.
それを弾いてくれますか？
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
大した曲ではなかったな。
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
こいつのもの？
You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep
カブトムシの
beetles in
箱を
a
入れていた。
box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously. Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that? Those petals.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No. We found it in Penny's room.
Right.
がっかりしてますね。
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective. I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet.
もう一
Yeah,
回こ
it's
れ
mine.
で。
What's so
Look at
special
you,
about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition.
家族
I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me,
ほ
if
う。
she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally...
ん？これのカニさんマーク集めるんじゃないのか？あ、集まったのか。ピアノ。ドアベルピアノ、鳥の鳴き声。フローラの塔からメロディー。ここ？これか。あ、そうです。奥で聞いとくか。ダメ？こっちは？これちゃんと聞かないとダメ？
We already solved it.
ちゃんと聞いとくか。その間に飲み物。
It's piano music.
これダメ？あれ、録音されないな。録音されるというか、カニさんマークに。
The whole room has a strange feeling about it.
変な感じです。
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
聞いとくか。
Someone humming a tune.
よしよし。鼻歌。これで4つ全部揃った？
That's all four melodies, I think.
すべての。
So, what do we
Should
do?
we go back to the gardens again?
.この通りに並べるってこと？ちょっと画像撮っとくか。
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now.
なんだこれ？あ、画像撮らなくてもよかったな。この並びの通りだ。これと、これと、これと、これか。これでどうですか？
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
お？お？
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
はあ。その下に。研究室？
Bugs.
虫？
Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal.
鉄でできている。標
What's in
本。
there? Nine beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean.
これが一番綺麗だね。
Poor little
There's a
guys.
bunch of mostly numbers. It's a little diagram of a beetle with some
That's
info.
weird.
What?
It looks really normal
普通に見る。
compared to the beetles behind the glass.
It looks like they're being boiled. The liquid is ice cold.
火がついてるってことは、まあ手入れはされてるってことだよね。これが一番怪
Is
しい
it
な。
locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
ん
Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
はははえ何掛け金が正しい位置に来るまで縦にスライドさせてください。こんな感じか。けど上にかぶっちゃうとどうなるの？こうだといいのか？これ来すぎてんの？こうか？こっち？いや、こうか。こっちにずらす。こうなのかな？いやー、ないな。こうか。こう。こうか。ほうほう。いや、これ以上こっちに行かんのか。最後に繋がるこれが鍵だな。ここから考えてみるか。こっちはこうか。いや、こうか。こっち。いや、ここのラインがないから、これではないな。じゃあ、こいつはあんまり関係ないのか、ここには。ここと関係してるのがこれで動かない。いやいや、こっちっていう可能性もあるのか。これだと良くない。いや、こうしてこれだとこういってこういってこういってこうでしょ。おいいんじゃない？いいんじゃなくないな。こうか。いや待てよ、ここは途切れるな。違うな。こう来てこう来てこうしてみるか。そうすると関係するのか。ここまで来ちゃうとよろしくなって、こうか。こうしてみるか。こうか。一旦下げるか。こうして、ああちょっと待って、頭痛いな。こう来て、こう来て。あ、ここがダメになっちゃったのか。手こずらせよるな。 がまだ出してない。こうか。ここは絶対ありえんな。こうかこうか。途切れてる。で、ここ関係ないから、こうつなぐように。なんとできんか。こうか。あ、いけたんじゃないこれ。
No, that was it.
よし。
Nice work. Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
なんださっきのやつ4から始まってたから、これが1、2、3なのか。我々のユニークな動植物は今もまだ未確認であることが多く、化学物質による副産物。これらの化学物質は水の中に絶えず存在しており、雲を形成して湖に充満している。これにより植物や動物によって突然変異が起こっている。雲系類の動物、昆虫類、軟体生物、両生類や甲殻類といった小さな生き物たちはその影響を最も受けている。しかしながらその化学物質が食物連鎖に加わる可能性があり、これにより突然変異や爬虫類が発生することがある。現在分かっている限りでは哺乳類には全く影響がない。おう。人間には影響がないってことなのか。つまり。
Whose research is this?
誰の研究なんだろう
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
お邪魔だ。
Is that a periodic table?
No, but it does kind of look like one.
What are those symbols?
They're alchemic symbols,
錬金術
mostly based on the planets, the
あ、こ
sun,
れ
the
惑星の
moon,
マークだ
stuff
な。
like that.
Huh. Reminds me of the chart from the library.
The one from the chalkboard.
Yeah.
これもなんか見たことあるな。
This looks like it was drawn in a hurry.
Didn't we see those same symbols in the greenhouse?
これ見たことある、これ見たことある。これだけ初めてか。なんか
It's
近
a
いで
hatch.
す。
But we're already in the basement.
Depends on your perspective.
Let's not go down. We still haven't explored this room
う
properly.
んまだ調べられるものがあると。
Rows of plants, growing in
What
wide.
color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark to tell.
ひびが悪
A
い。
cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if
I
there's...
like that you called them rooms. This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's
Can't
incomplete. There's a section missing.
これだと思うんだけどな。4って書いてるし。
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
んポインターは次のもの。こうか。黄金のカブトムシを閉じ込めた地下の研究室に。だけどフラヤがやってきて盗んだ。
Pointer
Hold up.
locked up the golden beetle in the underground laboratory. Almost. Maybe
Sure.
just change one thing.
閉じ込めたこのつもりだった。繁殖しようとしてた。
Pointer
Good.
has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
さらに下へ。おお、これはなんか怪しいですね。
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
鉄の棒。光沢あるが頑丈な鉄の棒。それは刺しに突き刺されていた。その棒は先が尖るように削られて、まるで、あるいは秒針のように見える。その後ろには小さな結び目。短い赤のロープ。その鉄は完璧に綺麗で磨かれている。ロープ。リールのやつが怪しいですね。
So what's the photo?
だらこれ。傷んだ写真。それは額に入っているが少し濡れている。この写真には小さな女の子。大きな男が彼女の横で座っている。彼らの周りには赤と白の鳥が何羽かいる。ほうほうほう。彼らの周りには鉄の物体がその写真に、突き刺さっており、胸のあたりに穴が開いている。胸もなんか怪しいですね、これ。なんかつけてる。
Do you know who it is in the photo?
奇妙な
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
誰を描写するの？
That's not right.
ん？これか。こいつ？あ、なんか胸のところにこれだと思うな。
Felix made a little model of him for Flora?
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
ペロー伯爵。レミントン
Lord
か？
Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father. Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
A single book on a little...
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
子供用絵本。かなり古そう。海と空のミスト。これの方かな。インクディップ。上品なシルバースネーク。これか。爬虫類。ソウルベアラー。ベアラーなのにカニなのか。アンコビ。カエルのような。これか。
It's an old coat rack.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Old
How
cardboard.
exciting.
Oh, but they're also damp and empty.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach
Let me
it.
guess. Blank.
お？地図か。ミスティット屋敷。北側だ。横断面図。横断面図。ミスティット？タングルタワーじゃないのか。屋上の庭。だからここにタワーがあれば、今の見てる家だよね。
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already?
書斎？ここだよな、書斎が言ってないのか。
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
こっち英語になってるんですね。羊皮紙の巻物が一つ。これには大きな屋敷が描かれている。横の線は以前湖があった場所を示し、2番目の線は現在の湖の場所を表している。ここまでやったけど、今はここまでになったのか。この邸宅は湖の上にある大きな建造物の上に立っており、支柱によって支えられている。フレアの、部屋はストレージ、これか。物置と示されている。中心に書斎と示された部屋がスタディ。もうここ出て行っていいのかな。どうやって行くんですか？ここ。一番下の階。まだ見るものがあるのか。
Do these puddles?
Why?
That's lake water. It's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
本棚は
It's an empty bookcase.
Something tells me it's been empty for a long time.
外。
Basements don't.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like
Like
that?
what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
湖。
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
どういう部屋なんだろう。湖の底なのに。
Let's head back. I want to find that last room.
あ、なんかここ怪しいな。
Wow, it's
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on. It's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
スイッチ。お、いいね。秘密の屋敷って感じがしますね。
Wanna go up?
書斎。隠れたハート。銃とかもあるね。
Dragon?
ドラゴン？
Snake?
スネーク？
Worm?
ワン？
That's the one.
カニ。
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You could
Also, crabs normally have two
爪が
claws,
2
right?
つ、3つじゃん。
Not three?
あ、3つあるね。
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
絵本であったカニか。その生き物の手足は回転させることができ、爪は開け閉めすることができる。カチャン、カチャン。どうすんだこれ。何するかわからないな。
I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need to guess.
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
ちょっと待って
This
ね。
crab really reminds.
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help. I think I've seen it more recently.
この格好にしたいんですよね。画像撮っとくわ。OK。
It's got a
Also, crabs.
これは閉じて、なんかこの辺にあって、こうやって、開けて、こんな感じ。もうちょっとこっちか。これでどうだ？
Perfect.
おお？クロスボウ。
What's this?
something somebody didn't want us to find.
うん。
What is it?
武器。
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already.
リールのやつか。
I think that might attach the crossbow, but not this part of the crossbow.
ここじゃないのか。これか、別の棒か。
I think that might attach, but not this part of the crossbow.
え？別の部位がいた。
We need something that could attach.
戻らせて。これか？お？こうか。おお。これで森が回収できるようになって
What do
る
you
のか。
make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
けどこれ血痕ついてんのか？なんか綺麗に見えたけどな。綺麗に磨かれてるか。
They called this room
What would you call it?
the secret death chamber of doom. It's a wooden pinboard hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
紙の大きな中心のシートがピン止めされている。中心の溝から4本の線が描かれている。4本。なんとのフィギュアのシルエット。あいつじゃないの？これ？これ？フォークショーじゃないの？なんか関係あるの？フォークショーは。この家の人間と。
Who are all the people?
Not sure, but our eyes have all been crossed out.
目が潰されてる。集合写真。古いものだ。際になっている真鍮の飾り板にはこう書いてある。ミスティック屋敷の大使たち。この写真には2人の女性と3人の男性、さまざまなスタイルの服を着て並んでいる。黒いインクで覆われている。こいつだけなんか見たことあるような気がするな。あとはわからん。これフリックスみたいだな。
That photo is important, I'm sure.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him. An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on...
Honestly, doesn't look like...
I'm more worried about the third one.
3番目の。あ、クロスボウが気になってる。
The third one?
The one that isn't there. Nice chair.
It's still...
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe. An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
お、何かある。お、羽じゃん。何？椅子の黒のボタン。赤色の生地の切れ端。赤色の服着てるやつなんておった？フォークショーか。ボタン。
Coffee table. I'm gonna say
someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
複数のページが破れているが何枚かは残っている。5番目の首都を大使を発見。ついにね。私が完璧だったとは言えないけど、だけどこればっかりはがっかりする結果になる。他のメンバーと何ら変わりなかった。私のミスティックの仲間を実験のために音楽室へ連れて行った。うまくいきすぎた。あの研究室はもう一つのがっかりさせられるものだった。あれだけの努力が水の泡。彼は思ってたよりも視野が狭かった。そこにいた素晴らしい景色。ほとんど何も残っていなかったけど、必要なものは揃った。彼女は入ることに成功した。彼女は用心深かったから何も動かせなかった。だけどこれだけは言える。その時が来た。
Someone's been using this room. I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
これあれじゃない？これだと思うんだけど。ここに何がつくんだ？これか？こいつじゃね？うん。で？
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
ホークショーもこの家に何か関係あるのか。
Still don't know what's really going on.
ホークショーだけファミリーネームが出てきてないですよね。レミントン・ホークショーである可能性もあるのか。人？殺人。
Time to solve this.
な、こいつ怪しいな。
You know, in any normal room. In here, though, it barely makes the top.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's
一致している。
It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
どうやって撃ったんだ？後ろから撃ったしかありえんな。いや、上からか。上からだから見られなかった。
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there.
これリール見つけたよ
The
ね。
wheel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait, the arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope, doesn't add up. It would have missed her. if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
仰向けになっていた。斜めにいた。仰向けになって
Freya was
た。
already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
リラックスして。すでに殺されていた。
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
蓄音機。絵の具の匂い。地下
Paint fumes.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
蓄音機か
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
毒ガスを放出する。温度
It was the music being played.
What?
Let's try that again.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
わからん。何が隠れてたんだ毒ないよ。
That's not it.
違うなんだこれ
That's not it.
また全部試すかこの辺は違うな。何か秘密にしてたものが隠されてる。これか
That's not it.
くっ
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
合ってるわけないしな。
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
どうして気を失ったんだこれか
That's not it.
これもう一度やったな。
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
本当にわからん。
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
合ってるわけないしな。
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
全部違うこれ
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise.
ああ、なるほど。だから倒れてたのか。
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
何が影響を受けてた蓄音機とか
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself. They all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration. Enough to crack metal. Enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
How?
周波数から守る。燃えたアイテム。これ。
That's not right.
違うこれか。耳を守った。
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah. What triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
じゃあ誰がこれできるんだ？
There's something bothering
What?
me. I just want to check. Let's go back to the crime scene.
最初に部屋に現れたやつは違うのか。
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
I can see the stars. The plant, it's in the book.
What?
Look.
お、これなのか？どうすんの？何見るの？見るものがわからんな。何するの？
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
ん？お？どうした？欠けている手がかり。
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it
そうだ
go?
ね、この羽がないんだよ。
We found it somewhere else.
これ燃えかすのことじゃないの？
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access?
鳥か？鳥が盗んだ？
The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
フレイの彼女の会議。どのように表現した？どういうことだ？黒。
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
ていたから。なぜなら、かも。このスケッチ、中英植物。ここだと思うんだけどな。
The blood was a mistake by Freya because the ink dip feather, which Freya had lost. Nope.
Nope. ドレスの一部。黒の絵の具。お、黒、こことここが一番キーだよな。これか。でもヒントもない。これか？このスケッチ？こうか。
The black paint was going to be used to paint this sketch,
これ
which
まだ
was
書かれ
part
てない
of
よな。
Flora's dress. That's not
ド
right.
レスの一部だから。
The black paint was going to be used to
1
paint
個しかないけど、2個目があっ
of something sitting in the window. Almost. Maybe just change
た。
the black paint. That's not right either.
勘違いか。
The black paint. That's not right either.
違う。黒の絵の具じゃないのか。赤。
The blood. Almost. Maybe just change.
何を描く？え？これにしてきます。
Blood on the brush. Almost. Maybe just.
いや、分かった。黄色か？黄色がこの絵の中にないか？
Yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
え？フローラの頭部の窓に何か黄色い。カブトムシか。カブトムシがいた？もしかして。
That's not it.
違う？これ？
That's not it.
なんか黄色いもの。鳥だ。やっぱ鳥だよ。
There she is, our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did, but she's a very good listener.
あ、どうもあれ。はてな。
Well,
トークショ
now,
ーじゃないのか？
I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
誰これ？ペネロペ。
Why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
縛るか。頑丈な何か。リールのやつでいくか。
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
ただ真実
I
を知りたい
just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
ん？
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries.
何言ってんのか全
She
然よくわかんない。
was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other two Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that. I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
書斎か。
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end, the paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Misted?
もちろん。
Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids,
You
like
might get one.
Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
見つけた何か。え？秘密の研究？書斎でか。これ？
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves The ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All five, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up, but instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it?
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
なんでこいつを殺すことになったんだ？わからんな。レアフェロー、遺言。
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
これ？
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families. And perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh, 鳥? Huh?
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her. But who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hatbird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope.
How do you know?
Because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
"犯人には逃げられたけど、被害者の思う通りカブトムシは逃がしてあげた」と。まあちょっと、なんていうのかな、展開が急だったけど、面白いゲームでしたね。トランスレートチーム。ジャパニーズ。ジャパニーズじゃない。テキスティ。お、飛んでった。殺人ってところで終わりですね。というわけで、これはもう終わりなのかな。ここで戻るとどうなんだ。ホークショーとペニーが同じ人物だ。なるほどね。というわけでね、ちょっとここで切りが良いので、一旦終わっておきますか。見てくださった方々、ありがとうございました。それでは、おやすみなさい。